The red oval shown contains the three highway control gates that we're going to be discussing that close off Bayou Road and Highway 46 in the event of surge. This is part of the surge barrier. The Inner Harbor Navigation Canal Lake Borgne Surge Barrier is a storm barrier constructed near the confluence of and across the Intracoastal Canal and the Mississippi River Gulf outlet near New Orleans. This barrier runs generally north-south from a point just east of the Michoud Canal on the north bank of the Intracoastal Canal and just south of the existing Bayou Bienvenue flood control structure. I'm not certain, but what we're looking at is actually the Bienville structure, but the items, the concepts that are given here will apply also. Navigation gates where the barrier crosses the GIWW and Bayou Bienvenue can be worked to reduce the risk of storm surge coming from Lake Borgne and or the Gulf of Mexico. The Inner Harbor Navigation Canal Surge Barrier was authorized by Congress in 2006. The barrier is designed to reduce the risk of storm damage to some of the region's most vulnerable areas: New Orleans East, Metro New Orleans, the 9th Ward, and St. Bernard Parish. This project aims to protect these areas from storm surge coming from the Gulf and Lake Borgne. The project was funded by the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. In April 2008, the Corps awarded a construction contract to Shaw Environmental Infrastructure for the Lake Borgne Surge Barrier, making this project the largest design-build civil works project in the Corps' history. It is highly unusual for a civil works project to be designed and constructed simultaneously. The expedited process, however, was necessary given the compressed time frame for achieving the 100-year level of risk reduction in 2011. In October of 2008, the New Orleans District Commander of the U.S. Corps of Engineers signed their Tier 2 portion of the individual environmental report, which investigated the alternative alignments and designs within the location range identified by Tier 1 and expanded the impacts of the alignments and footprints, construction materials, and methods and other design details. After the completion of the IER notice, a notice to proceed was issued to Shaw. In December 2008, the Corps held a groundbreaking ceremony to mark the start of test pile driving. Construction of the barrier's flood wall began on May 9, 2009. On October 21, 2009, the last of 1,271 main piles was driven. On 29th of August 2012, the 7th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, the barrier was used for the first time to protect the city from Hurricane Isaac. By June 2013, all major construction had been completed. The Corps of Engineers accomplished this project via the design-build-delivery method. The main barrier consisted of 1,271 concrete piles, 66 inches across and 144 feet long, weighing 96 tons each. Behind these piles, steel piles are driven at an angle of 2 horizontal to 3 vertical. The steel piles are 288 feet long and are installed in 2 sections, with the lower 158-foot section driven and the upper 130-foot section fitted to the top and welded in place. A precast concrete pile cap is placed on top of the steel barrier piles and concrete plumb piles to join them. The 2 gates were constructed in the Gulf Intracoastal Waterway navigation channel, and we'll talk about those gates in a different video. If you look for the Louisiana Great Wall water portion, you'll see a video on the water gates. These are the land gates that we're focusing on here that close off the road. When the hurricane is scheduled to come in, then I'm sure warning is given to people living outside the gates that the gates will be closed at a certain time, and these big, huge gates are then slid across the road to seal off the inner sanction of New Orleans from a surge coming from the hurricane. It's an incredibly huge project, really well designed. There is a very, very good video that was made about the construction of the wall, and it's very much worth your time to watch it. It's given in the notes below. You'll find a link to that video. Um, I learned a lot, and it was very educational. I wish I'd seen that video before I had videoed the wall, because there were certainly some aspects of that video that would have been interesting to have captured in my drone video. So here we are flying back to Highway, which one is that? That's Highway 46. And then back south of there, on the other side, you can see the Bayou Road. Highway 46 is a new road, 2-lane divided. Very, very nice, quick road to get out to Shell Beach. The Bayou Road is an old road, and that's where the cemetery for the Elenos is located, and where some very big houses are located. And even though the road indicates it's closed and detour and everything else, the road is actually open. I think that the people that owning the very nice house have put up a lot of signs to try to discourage traffic from coming down their road. You can see how massive these gates are that slide across the highway. And of course, they slide on the side that the surge is coming from, so the surge helps push the gate onto the wall itself and makes a better seal for it. It's an incredible process. It's very well designed, and the test of time, of course, will prove it one way or the other. But from what I see, it looks like a very well designed, very well built wall.